What's up, YouTube? This is Tien bringing you a new Atlas strategy video for 3.3 Incursion League. With 3.3 comes the demise of the Elder Ring. The patch is making it to where if Elder is spawned on a map and you don't run him, he has the choice to just leave that map after a certain number of other maps ran. So what does that mean for us? We're going to be moving away from doing the Elder Ring strategy or that ping-ponged influence strategy that we had in the past, and we're going to be forming what's called an Elder Square. So what is an Elder Square? Why is it good? Well, it's good for the same reasons that the Elder Ring or the ping-ponged influence is good. You're basically always running a map that has Elder or Shaper influence, and when you do that, you get free monsters with more loot, potentially more maps. And you know, it's super valuable to do that. You get the bases of the items, you get other things as well. Those null portals in the Elder maps are super juicy. But anyways, what is an Elder Square? It's basically an area of Elder influence that doesn't have the Elder spawned yet. So in our particular example, it's this kind of triangle. I know I called it an Elder Square, but it's this triangle in the lower right-hand side of the map that is a contained area of Elder influence, which we will be running a few maps over and over. And these few maps that I've identified as corner maps, you can see here in atlas.poekit.net. This is a website I use to kind of figure out which maps I want to run in my Elder Square, as well as setting up a few potential Elder Squares. And so for our Elder Square here, the maps that we're interested in running for our example was Ivory Temple, Conservatory, and Haunted Mansion. I don't know why you would want to run these three maps. I know Haunted Mansion is very popular, but the other two not so much. But we're just going to use this one for an example. So if Elder Influence were to expand, say we were running Haunted Mansion a whole bunch because we like that map, and Elder Influence kind of expanded by himself, what we would do is run Ivory Temple to kind of cut off all of the influence that expanded up to Spider Lair and Thicket. By running Ivory Temple, it will remove Elder Influence from that map. It will likely be inhabited by Shaper after that, but it will also cut off all of this other Elder Influence that expanded above. Similarly, if we were running Haunted Mansions and Elder Influence decided to spawn out to Academy and Gardens, by running Conservatory, Elder Influence will stay with our large cluster of influence in the corner here, and it will cut off Gardens, Academy, and Conservatory and stay in Haunted Mansion. So, you know, for our example, these are the three maps that we're going to be constantly running that will always have Elder influence. You can see on our current atlas that the Shaper's kind of hanging out nearby. And, you know, this is just to illustrate the fact that Shaper and Elder, they can move their influence around without you doing anything. If I were to run maps, you know, I was running Bog earlier, these maps can flip-flop back and forth between Shaper. Shaper right now is looking to attack probably Conservatory or Haunted Mansion. For people setting up the Elder Ring in our last patch, you know that the influence can move around by itself. Elder can probably take maps by himself. He could take Ivory Temple in this example. But you know, there's a little bit of randomness involved. But by choosing these corner maps, we kind of make it to where he's only sitting in one map ever. So what I have up here in my slideshow is a variety of Elder Squares that I've come up with. And you can come up with your own. The only requirement is that it has to be less than 20 maps. Because once you reach 20 maps, the Elder influence, when it reaches 20, the Elder spawns. And once he spawns, that's gonna mess you up, because then you know, he'll go away and then the influence will go away as well. So here we have, you know, this whole set of maps here, and our corner maps are Underground Sea, Armory, and Ashenwood. Say we're running Underground Seas, and then, you know, Elder spawns by himself out to Vault and Overgrown Ruin. Well, that means we need to run Armory, and that will cut off Vault and Overgrown Ruin. Similarly, you know, the maps underneath Ashenwood, if Elder expands down there, we just run Ashenwood and keep it contained in this upper left-hand corner. Here, I think this one's going to be a popular one. You know, here we're interested in running Burial Chambers a whole bunch, but if Elder Influence ever spread to Toxic Sewer and Cemetery, for example, you could just run Chateau, and it will bring the Elder Influence back down here. Because this is a very small Elder Square, if Elder were to spawn up into Chateau, Toxic Sewer, Cemetery, Phantasmagoria, and we were to run Chateau, if too many maps are under the Elder Influence up here, Well, when we run Chateau, it could choose the top side as the main cluster of the elder influence. So if you want to think of it like this is a more stable elder square because there's a large cluster of influence here, whereas this one is much less stable. Here is an interesting one because it's an actual square. There's 4 corners to it. We have toxic sewer, cemetery, waste pool, and shore. Similarly, if Elder were to run down into Chateau and Springs, we just run toxic sewer. If he goes over to Ashenwood, we run cemetery. If he goes up into Bog or Lair, we could just run waste pool. It keeps it contained into this area here. Similarly, if he goes to Tower or Precinct, we just run shore, and it will bring all of the Elder influence back into our square. And these are the 4 maps that we're going to be constantly running. They're always going to have Elder or Shaper influence, and as long as we kind of police the influence from getting too spread out, we'll always get to run one of our maps of interest. This is the one that we have set up currently for Haunted Mansion. This one's for Strand. We could choose Arid Lake or Peninsula here. I just chose Arid Lake because I like the layout a little bit more. Again, this is a smaller one, like our Burial Chambers layout. This one's interesting because it uses the Maze of the Minotaur, and it's in red maps, and it has Arachnid Tomb, which is one of my favorites. It's worth noting that it could be Arachnid Tomb or Spider Forest in our Elder Square, Shipyard or Coves, Defiled Cathedral, Colonnade, or Siege. There are options for your Elder Square, depending on which maps you're interested in running. This one I like a lot. We could do like a Shaped Bog, Pit of the Chimera, and Race Course. It looks like Promenade is actually attached to Terrace, but it's not. So once Promenade and Precinct down here are influenced by the Elder, you just run Race Course, and it will cut off that influence and leave your main cluster of influence up here towards Bog and Pit of the Chimera. This one, again, contains Underground Sea and Volcano, which are 2 of the most top-tier maps, in my opinion. I think Haunted Mansion, Underground Sea, Volcano, and Burial Chambers are like the Tier 1 maps right now. But this one has Channel and Gorge in it as well. These 4 maps are pretty decent. And, similar to my old strategies, you want to make sure the map that you're doing is the only map of that tier. So if we were doing Shaped Underground Sea, for example, we need to make sure we have no other T11s. If we were doing volcanoes or shaped volcanoes, the only 9 we have is Volcano. Maybe our only 4 is Gorge, and maybe our only T10 is Channel for this particular example. Anyways, that's it for this Atlas strategy video. If you guys like the content and want to see what my Elder Square looks like once Incursion League is live, feel free to hit that subscribe button. Good luck setting up your Elder Squares and have fun in Incursion, and I will see you guys in the next video.